Hey, I can't. It's just. Where's Alan?
Yes. I will rule you one day, Flash Gordon.
No.
Hey, man. Am I driving okay?
I think we're parked, man.
Oh, shit.
Yo. I'm here. Let's get things started. Let's go.
Go fuck yourself.
Wait, what did you say?
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
Alan! 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 Al! Alan!
You know, you show up early, you get a little treat at the beginning of the show. Wait, how did that end up as the background? Let's just go. I'm off my game. I'm off my game today. It's been wait, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
Right, that's better. Lots to
By
talk
the way,
about.
we can't be swearing at the beginning of the stream.
Well, I already blew that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Now we're not. I'm sure that breaks some rule.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about today on the show, so we're gonna get right to it. Bunch of things. One, I want to remind people. This is where I should have probably prepped, but I was watching a movie. I'm often doing that. But yeah, let's I want to let people know about this Sunday. This Sunday, we're going to have our Golden Globes watch party. I'm going to switch that up a bit here. I'm going to switch that up. I'm going to switch it up and go like this. Our Golden Globes watch party is this Sunday. We're going to start at 4 p.m., which is actually about an hour before the Golden Globes start. The Golden Globes this year airs on CBS. So we're a watch party. So you got to find another device. Like you could watch, the Golden Globes on your television while you have us on your iPad. It's a second screen experience. We haven't done a watch party in a really long time. So I'm excited about that. Alan and I will both be in tuxedos, as you can tell from this graphic. Alan, are you ready?
Not for the tuxedo part, but for everything else, yes.
Okay, so I just want to let people know this Sunday, a special live watch party. It's going to go about 4 hours. We're going to watch the Golden Globes together. Some very special guests. I'll be able to announce them after I ask them and confirm that they can be here. But a lot of the same people that you like are going to be on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. So join us. I mean, I really wasn't going to watch the Golden Globes. And then Alan said, we should do a watch party. And then I said, why don't we do that?
Yeah, we can't stop the tradition.
We cannot stop the tradition. But we got a lot to talk about. I thought today that we would be discussing Marvel's Echo, but we are not, because we have not been sent the screener links yet. But I do believe it debuts. All episodes drop a week from today.
Yeah, the email we got was it's coming tomorrow, the screener.
We'll talk about it on Friday. So we're going to talk about, I didn't get that email, but I'm not surprised. We will talk about Marvel's Echo on Friday, but join us on Sunday for our Golden Globes watch party. All right. Lots to discuss here. Did you add that banner that I asked?
Oh, I didn't get the banner. I had to trying to get the images set up.
Well,
But
it's
let
a
me
little
get the
too
banner.
late for that. All right.
I didn't get the banner.
Okay. Let me just
Stupid StreamYard. I have the images ready though.
all right. I made a banner. That's okay.
Okay.
But before we get to that, let's get to your chat comments and questions. Obviously, I had a fun holiday, as you can tell. Picked up this Michigan shirt. I did not get into the game. A lot of people were asking me. I was in Old Town Pasadena. I saw the Rose Parade. Then I marched to downtown and tried to actually get to the stadium, which was crazy. And then learned from everyone that was there, it's impossible to get tickets to the Rose Bowl. Michigan played Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Michigan won. I am from Michigan. Members of my family have attended U of M, but I was really there to just watch a good game. It was a very good game. Michigan will be in the national championship, which is being played on Monday. So I'm looking forward to that. And just it's fun hanging out with people from out of town. Everyone from Alabama and Michigan, they were just all so friendly. I talked to a lot of people from Alabama. They were just like, you know what? I honestly, like, look, I'm glad that Michigan won, but if Michigan didn't win, they're both really impressive teams. So I'm just trying to explain the shirt that I'm wearing because Alan, I could tell that you were going to ask about it.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I remember in the olden days when the Rose Bowl was just the Big Ten versus the Pac-10. So it was always SC versus Michigan or UCLA versus Michigan or whatever team versus Michigan.
Right. Well, I've been there in the 90s. I actually did see Michigan play in the 90s, went to that game with my dad. But the tickets were just impossible to come by and they weren't coming down on the prices. On the low end, tickets were $700. I skipped it, but I had a very good New Year's Day. Let's see what you're up to in the comments before we get to our topics and our conversations and special guest today. The director and star of Mickey's Mousetrap will be here. We're going to do a trailer reaction, and then we're going to talk to the filmmakers behind it and how they are getting away with this. So there you go. Your comments and questions.
Sorry.
I'll let
trying to start
both
things
off today.
I'm trying to start things, and this stupid chat keeps scrolling up on me.
Suns and Shadows says party. Someone say party. Shots for everyone. Join us. It's going to be a watch party. Emphasis on the party. Thank you, Suns and Shadows. Ninja Vanish. Looking forward to Alan's next D-Files. What's that?
Next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday, we are continuing the series. We're going to talk about what happened after the firing of John Lasseter and the slow takeover of the Walt Disney Company. And so some interesting stories to come out.
Well, that I love to hear it.
Okay.
We have a even bigger story that's breaking like as of this morning. That's not on. No one's talked about this yet. Lord Thoth, punch it. Alan Horkin, am I drunk or is this show even crazier than usual? Crazier. Bill S. Preston Esquire. Chris is obviously not doing dry January. You know what? I had a very quiet post New Year's Day. Went and saw a movie. I saw Godzilla -1 for the 5th time because I had to run an errand at the Santa Anita Mall. And I was like, oh, well, I'm here. Maybe I'll just watch like the beginning. And then, of course, I got sucked in, watched the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I forced my daughter to see a movie this weekend. And so now our top 3 films of the year are the exact same, except different order. I took her to see The Iron Claw, and that just jumped right up onto the top 3.
Wow. Well, it's all that heterosexual indoctrination that I think is probably working on her with
Zac
that movie.
Efron all buffed out.
Zac Efron looks pretty buff.
Jeremy Allen White,
Well, there you go. Superhero movies are finished. It's over. Ing the Merciless, and Gore Galore. That says there you go. Eric Stratton, Chris, stop sending people underwear or keep sending. Wait a sec, did Az talk about? I sent Az like this little gift pack. I sent him some Tommy Wiseau underwear that is signed, and I got it at LA Comic-Con. And I said to myself, I know exactly the person who's going to want a pair of this. I sent it to my friend Az, along with a book that I hope remains off continent. Az will talk.
The underwear is signed, you said?
Signed by Tommy Wiseau.
The Tommy Wiseau's signature is now on Az's crotch.
It could be if he's wearing it. Aaron Taylor, because nobody cares about Echo, but we still want Alan to review it. Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah, we just saw some footage. Everyone saw footage from it, and we're all excited about it.
Toxic Waltz N8. Alan did something different with his hair.
Yeah, I took a shower before the stream.
Oh, super chat here from Incoherent Turd for $4.99. I forgot if I asked you this, but have either of you been to Tarantino's New Beverly Cinema? Several times. It's right down the street from one of my favorite Mexican restaurants, El Coyote. I used to go there. I mean, I lived like blocks from there, so I would go there all the time. So I do recommend El Coyote. It's in Tarantino's last film. You might.
Is that where we went? I think we were there for like a screening or something. Like
didn't, but the New Beverly Cinema is Tarantino owns it. I actually shot a pilot for a TV show in there called Grindcore, which aired on G4 TV all of once. It was a fun show, fine. But I got to go up in the sort of like upper area, the projection booth, and talk to the people who work there. And part of the reason that Tarantino bought the theater is that he wanted all of the trailers, because they kept movie trailers going back like for years. And they had this collection of movie trailers that they just kept. And part of the reason he bought it was because he wanted those 35 millimeter prints of movie trailers. I've been there many times. What's your opinion? If you have, if not, will you go? Of course, I've been there many times. It's smaller than you might imagine, but it's an old school theater. It shows movies on film. Can't recommend it enough. Grab a schedule and go see something there. It's like the way movies used to be presented. So it's fantastic. Thank you for that, Incoherent Turd. Lover of Green for 5. What happened to today's Nerdrotics Nooner? Did I miss a tweet or something? Gary decided to take a day off. He worked kind of through the holidays. I think Gary said like he just worked through the holidays, and he released that 30-minute 5 woke disasters of 2023. It's like a mini documentary. Highly recommend it. But yeah, no Nooner today. He just let me know. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe the people from the Nooner will come and join Alan and I. So there you go. All right. And Lori Ormond, always good to hear from you. El Coyote was also the last place Sharon Tate ate. Not so fun fact. Oh yeah, I'm well aware of it. If you talk to the waiters or waitresses there, they will tell you which booth it is. It's further in the back. So there you go. Underwear, far less offensive than the book Chris Gore sent. Wait, did Az go through? Did he do like an unboxing? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll talk to Az. He sent me a very nice thank you over Twitter. We were DMing, and there you go. From Rumble, and also thank you to everyone watching on Rumble. We appreciate you. We don't forget you. We appreciate you. So thank you for being here. From Rumble, ADellis24. The Globes were always a fun watch because they were a joke to those of us who realized how rigged they are, and the stars get drunk during the ceremony. Gervais's best hosting clips come from the Globes. That's true. It's I mean, did you see the thing that Ricky Gervais put out? He said, hey, to Dave Chappelle, he said, hey, we should host the Oscars. Which I thought was very funny. There you go. And Alan Horkin says, as mentioned it, but didn't go into detail yet. There you go. Well, I hope he goes through. I sent him I had this box and I was like, oh, I think Az would like this. And I throw in like a patch or like a sticker, and it just kept growing. And I'm like, at some point I have to mail this. And so finally I just packed it up and sent it off over the holidays. So a good.
I'm curious, what was the shipping cost to get it?
$85
Oh my god.
to ship like a little priority box to the UK.
Boy.
And that was like it was going to take 3 weeks. It ended up taking about 10 days, but yeah, I was like, all right, well, it's $85 is $85. It is what it is. Az has given us more in super chats. He's very generous and very kind with his time, and well worth it to me to just get a smile on his face. Matthew Hammond for $4.99. I hope he would consider scanning the trailers on 4K Blu-ray to preserve them. I don't know. You have to ask Tarantino. He's not super active on social media. I respect him for that. Red and Vadered for $2. Jay definitely worked through the holidays for Film Thread. Yeah, it was a 33-hour stream of Jay drunk 3PO, kind of just looping, doing nothing. A lot of people took it in good humor, including Jay. And the weird thing about that, when you do a stream that's that long, it doesn't process the video. It just goes down unless you keep it going. So I don't know what to do, but
you kind of get it from
you get the joke.
Most people about 3 minutes, you get it.
I looked at the stats. Most people, the average person watched for 6 minutes, but it got like 10,000 views.
But there was a good chat going on. I'd slip in once in a while and just start chatting with people.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was fun. You just sort of dip in and chat with people. It was a lot of fun. Thank you, Red and Vadered. And from Rumble, Ololi Akwi. You're going to have to do that every time.
Ololi Akwi.
Thank you for that. You guys give more love and acknowledgement to the Rumble viewers than anyone else I've seen. We're paying attention.
Yeah.
Paying attention on Rumble.
By the way, I think we hurt ourselves by bashing on Rumble the last time we were.
How did we bash on Rumble?
Well, we're just talking about why we don't watch Rumble on a regular basis.
No, I'm saying I think Rumble's getting better. It's not just political content. It's pop culture as well. That wasn't bash. That was just stating a fact, I think.
Yeah. We weren't exactly promoting Rumble at that time.
Well, we'll do it more, but thank you. Ololi Lakwi. Thank you for that. And Gun Homac said Yule J had more viewers than the Marvels. Got over 10,000 views. Just saying. All right. We're going to talk about something very briefly. We are going to talk about something briefly. And there is a big story that is brewing within the WGA. We already know the WGA was probably hurt more than helped by the strikes. And if things could not go from bad to worse, now you have the shrinking of the industry, this contraction that's about to occur with fewer television shows and fewer movies are going to be made. Budgets are thin. And maybe there's no better time than to do this. Force your members to identify themselves within certain categories. I received screenshots this morning from a WGA member who sent me this. It's 3 parts. I'll show you the first part here, and hopefully you can see it. Members of the WGA are being asked to identify themselves in many categories. Now, just as someone who has hired people throughout my career, hired a lot of different people from all walks of life, all I care about is that you love movies. You can have different type of love of different types of genre of film. Don't care. Are you passionate about film? You're going to fit in at Film Threat really well.
By the way, when you were hiring people, doing this would have been a civil rights violation.
When I hired Alan to be a part of Film Threat, and probably one of the best decisions I ever made, I never asked Alan's sexuality. Can you see that? Is it visible on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely make it bigger. Yeah.
What they're not only asking is, one, they want it's just a tab, writer's background. They're creating a list. How well have things gone whenever writers have been put on lists? Let's see. The beginning of the list here is your sexuality, starting with heterosexual. You get one box to check there. LGBTQ plus, and underneath that, asexual, bisexual / pansexual, gay, lesbian, queer, unspecified. In addition, are you a writer who's over 40? Are you a writer who's over 50? Are you a writer who's over 60? The Writers Guild wants to know, and the people that do hiring in television and film, somehow this data is important to them. Let's go to the next. I'm going to stop screen. I'm going to show you. So that is the first of 3 screenshots that were sent to me. Let's look at this one right here. Okay, here's the next one. Your gender identity. Of course, you have under female, and I don't know why the subheads are female, transgender, transfeminine, transmasculine, unspecified male. You get 1 box, or non-binary. Disability, a list of disabilities. So if you would like to hire someone for your TV show who has limb difference, I'm gonna read these off. Can you see those well enough, Alan, on the screen?
No, but yeah, there you go.
Okay, a little bigger here. Disability, autoimmune condition, or chronic illness. I don't know. I guess chronic illness is fairly common. And by the way, in terms of a group, people that are disabled are the largest, quote, marginalized group. I know that because I have friends that are so-called disabled. You know what I don't do? I don't call them my disabled friends. I call them my friend. I call my friends by their names. So do you have a disability, autoimmune condition, chronic illness, blind or low vision, cognitive disorder, deaf or hard of hearing, dwarfism, limb difference, mental disorder, mobility disability, neurodiverse, physical disfigurement, and unspecified? Now, we did a video last year where Sundance basically asked all the attending press questions that are of this type. Whenever I'm asked to do that, I always, quote, prefer not to answer. That is my answer to that, because I think that, frankly, these kinds of questions are personally invasive. I don't want to be judged by who I sleep with, or my gender, or my thoughts. I have one last box to share with you. Let's take a look at this one. A lot of things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all of these. This is your ethnicity. The list is too long for me to read, but I'm going to give you should I zoom in, Alan? Can you see that all right?
A
little bigger here. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. But I think we get the idea, though.
Okay. Ethnicity: African American, Black, African, Central Sub-Saharan African, Eastern African, Northern African, Southern African, Western African, unspecified. Alan, would you read the Asian categories?
Yes. Burmese, Chinese, East Indian, Filipino, Indian, Indonesian, Japanese, Korean, Maoran. Maori. Sorry, I can't read it.
Right.
Native Hawaiian, Samoan, South Asian, Sri Lankan, Taiwanese, Thai, Vietnamese. Hey, but hold on a second. But Middle Eastern is also considered Asian.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now I'll read the next one, and then you can read European/white, Armenian, French, Greek, Italian, Polish, Portuguese, Scandinavian, Spanish, Welsh, white or Caucasian, and unspecified. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. There's Indigenous Australian is just one, gets its own box. How about you read this one? Because
okay, so Latinx, Afro-Latinx, Brazilian, Central American, Cuban, Dominican, Haitian, Mexican, Nicaraguan, Puerto Rican, South American, unspecified.
Now, are you able to check multiple boxes?
I'm pretty sure you are.
Yep. So, for example, I have a stepsister who happens to be half Black, half white.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed that in the upper right-hand corner, there's a select all button.
Select all. Okay, now we've got Middle Eastern, Afghan, Arabic, Ashkenazi Jewish. Boy, that seems
Ashkenazi.
Like Ashkenazi. It says Ashkenazi. Okay, I'm pronouncing that incorrect. I'm looking at it, Alan. I'm just going to zoom in on this because I want you to. Can you see that? It says Ashkenazi Jewish.
I know, but that's not how you pronounced it.
Okay, well, I did it wrong. Assyrian, Egyptian, Iraqi, or Israeli, or Jordanian, Kuwaiti, Lebanese, North African, Omani, Persian / Iranian, Syrian, Turkish, unspecified, and then the last one is Native American / indigenous. Okay, Alan, why is the WGA forcing its members to check all these boxes?
Well, it's easy. If you're going to do a show about the African American experience, you would want only African Americans to write about it. If you are going to write a story about the LGBT community, depending on which form of LGBT you are, we can filter it down by that box. And if you want to write a story about the white experience, we can filter out a lot of people and allow only white people to write about the white experience.
Well, I think that's sort of a small-minded way of looking at things. I think while there may be, just as in anything, in some things that are intended to be, there's a good reason we're doing this. We want to demographically break down our ranks of the WGA to prove we're not racist. Though there's only one checkbox that's missing from this. Good writer. A good writer. I would like to hire a good writer without regard to what they look like. Maybe I'm strange here, but I've always thought that, like, I just want quality people to write for my website. Now, the WGA writer that sent this to me said that members are kind of incensed by having to be forced to fill this out, so that now they have this data that could be used maybe in a good way, but maybe not in a good way.
Yeah. Maybe
in a way to be prejudiced towards a writer you haven't met based on their outward appearance. I mean, what's that saying about the road paved with good intentions?
Yeah. Oh, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Could this be a road to hell? I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think that categorizing writers and throwing them into checkboxes, I would click unspecified on everything, because it should be irrelevant. What it's going to do, it's going to narrow the opportunities for certain types of people. And I don't think it's not going to do the good that was intended. And, we're already getting people from the Disney company coming to us over the D files. All of this comes down to DEI, which has infected every company here that makes film and TV. The person who sent me this is going to be writing a story, and there's a lot more to show. This is just a taste. We will let you know when the story comes out. We'll cover it. It's going to be sometime next week. So next week we've got part 2 of the D files, and we're going to follow up on this. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Any final thoughts? I'd like to go to the chat, and we've got a lot to do today.
No, I mean, this is just incredible that, that we've come to this point where, there was a time where, look, grew up not white for a very long time. And, to me, it was always, the fight was always the opportunity, equal opportunity, access to equal opportunity, equal access to opportunity. There we go. I got it. It was just the chance to be at the table, to say that, hey, I've worked hard. I think I can write as well as anybody else. Now let my work be judged against other work. And in fact, hey, maybe allow me to learn from you, and then become a great writer. And I hate to say it, but diverse writers and directors have come up through that system where they were mentored, and they learned good storytelling. They learned how to direct. They learned how to write. They learned how to act. And now we've gone to the point where you just throw all that out, and it's all about your skin color. It's all about where you claim you came from. And it's, again, Hollywood is not the dream. And this is a typical Hollywood system. And this is the system that you are going to insert yourself into if you want to become a big Hollywood writer and a big Hollywood success. And again, I'm going to beat this drum the entire year. Hollywood is not the dream.
Let's go to the chat comments and questions here. starting with Triple Threat 305. Is there a category for American by chance? There isn't one. Lol. How about a checkbox for merit? Don't see one. Here you go from Solomon Thornton. WGA, a wise man once said, if you want to end racism, stop talking about it. Whoever is in charge of that needs to be fired because they're being racist. And the sad thing is they don't know it.
I'd say the first time I heard that was Morgan Freeman.
Yes, Morgan Freeman said that. Let's see. From Rumble, Ololi Lakui. I'd like to check the box that says racist. Yeah.
No, they already have that box. It's called white.
Yeah. Yeah. That's assumed, right?
Yeah.
I just want to thank people on Rumble. Hilariously Awful just became a Rumble premium sub supporter. Thank you for that. Also, now a monthly supporter. Do appreciate that there. That's excellent. Pilgrim Media became a YouTube member. Thank you for that. We have 400 plus members and growing now. Make sure when you become a member, check the community tab so you can join us on Rumble. We'll continue the conversation. It helps sort out which casting couch you get to go to, says Winter Soldier from Rumble. And John Z, there are stories in the 1930s in Germany about questionnaires that went around and asked gender, profession, and skills and nationality. This is when they were just getting ready to structure ghettos.
Oh, John, you're heading into Gina Carano territory there.
Yeah. And Molly is upset by all of this.
Molly.
Pilgrim Media for 2. I have pals in a marginalized group. They're ugly. Well, there you go. Pro tip, check all the boxes, says Incoherent Turd. And Dark Hierophant for 5 says, any interest in the third X film, Maxine? Thanks for the tickets from Chris and Gary for the Star Wars Burlesque show in 2022. Happy New Year. I can't wait for Maxine. I can't wait for Maxine. I thought X was great. I think I love that whole, Maxine. There's been a little tease of it. So I'm looking forward to that. Cannot wait. Thank you for that. And you're welcome. I like to give stuff away. I like to give free things away. Happy New Year and best wishes. I am sad to see what the WGA is doing, even more sad because this trend will trickle down in France and the West, says Red French Moon for €5. Yeah, well, the person who sent this to me, right now they're remaining anonymous, but what I hope this does is that other WGA members will speak out about what is really happening within the WGA. Everything I'm told is not good. Yeah. And it reminds me of, did you ever see the movie Dazed and Confused? The whole thing, the main conflict in Dazed and Confused, people probably just remember that movie from the Matthew McConaughey, like him, his performance in that. He really was a standout. Matthew McConaughey kind of made him a star. Ben Affleck's in the movie, but there's this conflict in the film that runs throughout where one of the characters is forced to sign a pledge regarding his football team. To remain on the football team, he has to sign this pledge. And it's this thread, it runs throughout. It's sort of the veiled, it's kind of episodic and it's more character driven. I love that film, Dazed and Confused from Richard Linklater. But this whole thread about how he's got to sign this pledge, and at the end he decides not to sign it. It just doesn't feel right in his gut. Something about this doesn't feel right. It feels like this will be used against people, and not in favor of this. No. JTPRX, Smokey Robinson and Raven Simone just told their interviewers not to label them African American. They said they are just American and tired of the labels. Mm-hmm. It was nice. Well, more
people need to do that.
More people need to do that for sure. So I'm just bringing this to your attention. And what I hope is that if this video gets out there in a way that other people see it, if you're seeing things happening within the industry, you need to speak out, because here is, and this is a warning coming from me. If you don't speak out now to help save the industry, there won't be an industry to save, and Hollywood will become less and less relevant, and the storytelling will be less and less resonant around the world. And the movies that come out of Hollywood are just not going to be among the most loved. The last 2 years, my 2 favorite films came from other countries. My favorite film this year, Godzilla -1, Japanese movie. My favorite film of last year was RRR, a Tollywood film by director S.S. Rajamouli. So there you go, folks. This is where we're at. Last comment here from LA Talk 1422 says Hollywood is already irrelevant compared to video games. It's a backwater. And another comment here, I don't know the answer to this, but it's a question worth asking. Toxic Waltz N8, always good to see you. I forgot, is Oppenheimer ineligible for Best Picture at the Oscars this coming event? I do not know.
Yeah, nothing. I've been looking and no one said boo about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know that because in the interest of being historically accurate, it's not a particularly diverse cast, which some stories are just not diverse. My favorite film this year is not very diverse movie. It's all Japanese actors. And I loved it. And I don't care. You know, get me engaged in a story. John Manalang very smartly points out, thank you, John, for being a member. First RRR mention of 2024, and certainly will not be the last. So there you go. Thank you for that, John. Always good to hear from you. All right, we're going to pivot. I have to set up the next thing we're going to talk about. We got so much to talk about today. I don't know if we're going to get to all of it. Alan, did you see the movie?
I'm kicking my dog out. Hold on.
You don't need to kick your dog out. You don't need to kick your dog out, Alan. Your dog makes noises. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know. It's just I forgot to buy snacks when I was out today. So
all right.
Okay, what movie? What movie are you talking about?
We're gonna do the best and worst TV of 2023. Do you have your list ready, Alan?
My
list is short.
The best.
You want to see my list?
Yeah, it's a small list. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's the same as mine.
It's not a big list, but we never did best and worst television. We stayed focused on movies and independent film and whatnot, but the best and worst TV we didn't get to. This is going to be quick. Oh shoot. Okay. I have to.
Well, I'm pretty sure my best is the same as yours.
All right. Well, this is not going to be a very exciting reveal. I'm going to reveal it as best I can here. So here we go. Do you got your list ready?
I'm going to have to make it.
Okay. You know what? It's fine. Here, I'm going to share my list. It's a short one. First off, starting with the TV's worst of 2023. Let's look at this. The Mandalorian Season 3, Ahsoka, Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2. What do all 4 of those have in common?
Yeah, they're Disney Plus.
They're Disney Plus, which is why I unsubscribed. And also Velma for good measure there. That's my worst list. The top 5 worst TV of 2023. Alan, what's your list look like?
Okay, so mine is the same, except I would move Secret Invasion to the worst, Ahsoka to the second worst, Velma, Loki, and Mandalorian. So Velma, Mandalorian, Loki.
You're just rearranging chairs on the deck of the Titanic.
Yeah, well, first of all, again, I've mentioned it many times. I have no time to watch television, and so, the TV I see is the TV that we talk about on the show, with the exception of wrestling.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so I mean, TV's best. I'm pretty sure you have 2, and one of them is definitely my best.
All right. Well, let's go with my best TV. There is some.
Okay.
I don't think this will shock you. TV's best of 2023 is very simple. It's One Piece and Picard Season 3. That's it.
Yeah. Picard season
Like-
3 is on mine. It's
Now,
my
like you, I don't have as much time to watch television, as I would like. But those, I mean, I may have seen some other TV that was okay. This stood out as like, I mean, those two series, One Piece and Picard season 3, just perfection, chef's kiss. One Piece, no interest in the subject matter whatsoever. Until I watched that first episode, hooked until the end. So many great character moments and just great storytelling. Picard season 3, I can't believe they pulled it off. Terry Metalis should be running Star Trek, or maybe running Marvel, or just running something. But Picard season 3 just made me fall in love with Star Trek again. And then I realized what's happening with Star Trek. Not good stuff. But there you go. Any thoughts on this, Alan?
Yeah, mine is Picard season 3. And again, One Piece, it just couldn't get into it. Sorry, everybody. And also, I don't have time to watch television.
Yeah. Oh, and okay. I missed a couple things here. Chris, you didn't watch House of the Dragon? Yes, I forgot that.
Oh yeah,
wasn't that
okay.
That was last year though, wasn't it?
Gosh,
That was last year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I loved House of the Dragon. That was 2022. I know it gets confusing. From Rumble, 8Ls24. These sound like excuses, Alan. You didn't watch the new season of Frasier?
I watched the first 2 episodes of Frasier. Very good. The problem is Frasier, the original Frasier, had 5 characters I liked. This season of Frasier, the new Frasier, has 1 character I like, which is Frasier.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. And from Rumble, Lord Shax, Alan misses Glow.
I very much miss Glow. That was one television I did watch, and it got canceled midway through because of the pandemic.
Matthew Rydell for 5 says, Alan kicks his dog. Let's make that trend. Okay. All right. Now we're going to pivot to the next thing that we're doing. Alan, did you see the movie Leave the World Behind?
No.
We're going to save it for Friday then. It's a Netflix movie.
That's the Julia Roberts one, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I've seen it. If we have time later today, we will get to it. But it's time now for our, hang on a sec. We have the director and the star coming on later today. But we're going to get right to this, and we are going to react to Mickey's Mousetrap. It's coming soon. Oh, you're going to get ready for this. I'm excited about this. Now, a lot of us know that, Mickey Mouse, or not Mickey Mouse, the movie Steamboat Willie has fallen into the public domain. How does that happen? When a property's been around for 100 years, that, and I'm sure there's more to it, and a lawyer can explain it. But last year, Winnie the Pooh fell into public domain, and we saw Pooh, Blood and Honey, or more accurately, I saw Pooh, Blood and Honey. Why? Because Alan is too afraid to see horror. Isn't that true, Alan?
I would have seen that one. I just couldn't get to the theater in time to see it.
Okay, well,
I will be seeing this, believe me.
I love movies like this. I think they're fun. Are they great? Not necessarily. But here's the poster for Mickey's Mousetrap. Literally dropped New Year's Day, making the rounds. It is currently on the Film Threat YouTube channel. So I'm just going to go there right now. I'm going to go to the Film Threat. Oh, specifically, let me share screen here. We're going to watch it together. I have not seen this, to be clear. I haven't seen it. So let's get to it. This is okay. I gotta set all this up. Gonna be a better way to do this.
I know.
It's all right, man. It's all right. Let's get to it. So we have 3 channels for Threat. We have our main channel where we do live streams and reviews. We're live streaming right now. We have 2 sister channels. One is Film Threat Interviews, which is right here. You get interviews with, all sorts of filmmakers, actors, lots of fun. And we also have Film Threat trailers. Okay. All of these channels are connected. On Film Threat trailers, we do play a lot of indie film trailers. Okay. So you'll get some trailers. We don't tend to go for the ones like Dune or whatnot, but like a lot of indie films, like from companies like Lionsgate, among others, and also small individual filmmakers that allow us to post their trailers. And we posted the trailer this morning. Thank you, Wes, for Mickey's Mousetrap, Blood and Honey. We're going to check. First of all, I got to get it set up. I'm sure there's an ad. I have to.
No, that's the movie. That's the movie.
That's the movie. Okay. I'm going to share audio here and we're going to watch it together. It's a 2-minute, it's like a 2-minute trailer. There's a little tease at the end for the Film Threat YouTube channel, but can you see this okay, Alan?
Yeah.
Let's watch the trailer for Mickey's Mousetrap. Here we go.
Turn it down.
This is the best party that we can.
What's that?
Yeah, turn the volume down on the YouTube trailer there.
Turn the volume down on the YouTube trailer?
Yeah, maybe like to 75%. Yeah, there you go. Try that.
Okay, we'll start again. Start again. Here we go, folks. We're watching it together.
These are the best party that we can throw.
I've seen some rejections in my time, but man, that was a good one.
There's blood all over the jungle gym.
Blood.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like completely in love with being ready. It's totally disgusting.
Put the phone down! Put the phone down, please!
I'd like to do that. I've already started.
Yo, Gina, turn around, please! Gina!
I'll be right back.
And he's dead.
What?
Like if he was in a horror movie, you'd never say, I'll be right back. Because then you don't.
Where the hell did he go?
In this. Hashtag the mouse is out. I don't know. Alan, what are your thoughts on this? Hang on, I gotta pause it.
You gotta, yeah.
What are your thoughts? It reminds me of Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just as good. I mean, look, it's in the public domain. I applaud these things just because you can do it. And I think there are people when I mentioned to people that we were going to have the filmmaker and the star on, there's a lot of copyright questions that I've been asked to ask. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see just kind of can they get away with it?
Well, first of all, I can't wait to ask them. When we have them on the show, they're going to be showing up in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to them about it. We're going to watch more Mickey Mouse stuff here in a second, but I want to know, what are the legalities?
Mm-hmm.
What can you get away with? I know it's the specific design of Mickey Mouse from Steamboat Willie, which is a different design than Disney uses for their theme parks. And they've even gone out of the way to, about every 20 years, they do like a new design of Mickey. There's like this sort of modern Mickey cartoons where Mickey looks very different than older Mickey cartoons from the 50s and 70s and whatnot. So I'm curious if that's part of what they can do, is they can trademark the design in addition to the character.
Yeah, I mean, I'll point out I was listening to That Part Place yesterday. I forget if it's Valiant. It's not Valiant's, but it's WDW Pro, his show, and he had Legal Mindset on there, and they were talking about this. And one of the biggest things was confusion, that you're not confusing the idea that this is not a Disney film. And the other thing was the use of the actual Steamboat Willie footage that we saw in the trailer there. And the question there becomes, what version of that, what is the version of that Steamboat Willie that they're using? Was it something that Disney put out recently as a new scan, or was it maybe a copy of a print which they can use? And so, that's the questions that I think they're going to have to answer if Disney, if they want to keep Disney off their back.
Right. Well, we'll find out. I mean, they haven't shut it down. They haven't copyright claimed it. They haven't done anything like that. So, we're about to see. All right. We're going to switch. And I got there's another trailer that released. All of these released within the first day or two. So I was like having a field day looking up all this stuff, which is crazy. This is called The Gray Mickey. It's an AI animated trailer. I don't know what the story is behind this. It's short, I think. Take a look at it. It's 1 minute and 13 seconds. So let me share screen again. We're just going to take a look at this. We'll do commentary on it. Here we go. This is an AI animated The Gray Mickey. Let's check it out. Here we go.
They tried to control me. Endless lawyers, executives, money men, to keep me a slave, so I could be their money machine and pacify the lowly masses. But they could only hold me for so long. Are you ready, boys and girls?
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hearts and a world of cares. There's one that we share, and it's time we're all aware. It's a small world laughter.
I mean, I don't know, Alan.
We're not lawyers. Yeah. Because the first thing that jumps out at me is it's a small world. Yeah.
Well,
it's a small world. That's not in public domain.
Right. I think they're going to run into some problems with that.
And I don't think that Mickey is Steamboat Willie Mickey either.
I don't think that AI.
You could claim that it's a fan piece. You could also claim that it's parody, and I think that's where they could probably get away with it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely parody.
Yeah, it probably falls under fair use for parody, but yeah, the song, I don't know, man, because you can get away with doing a cover of a song, but you still have to pay the person who has the song rights. So that's like a trick that's a trick actually that I'm told that Michael Bay uses in all of his films. If he wants to have a Rolling Stones song, he just has an unknown band cover a Rolling Stones song. He pays for the publishing rights, and then he's able to use the Rolling Stones. And it's such a good sound alike, but you're not paying the band, which would be hugely expensive. So he gets all these pop songs in his movies, but he's not paying crazy money for them. We're going to look at one last Mickey Mouse related thing here. It is, well, you know what? I don't know if you heard of this. Wait, no, we'll do one more thing. Okay. This is the Mickey game. There's a game trailer. Okay. Let's take a look at this game trailer. I forget the name of it, but here's the game teaser here. Is this it? I have 3 different links. We're going to find out which one it is pretty quickly here. I think it's a minute. This is an actual game. Oh wait, that one's not it. This is the game reveal. It's 18 seconds and there's an ad in front of it. Freaking.
All right. So yeah. We'll play the ad on it. But
I'll
just
get a
couple-
different link. I'll get a different link.
Just a couple comments. Justin Channels, Unity, It's a Small World is the only song or entirety at all, excluding Oswald, the Disney company has no copyright attached to. Disney earns no royalties when the song is played.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at. Let's take a look at this. This is it's a game teaser trailer. I don't know. Let's check it out. It's minute 25 seconds. It's called Infestation 88 New Mickey Mouse Horror Game 2024. Okay, it's called Infestation 88.
Hey there. Thanks for coming out. We've got a bit of an infestation here at the storage facility. We thought it was just rodents, but there's something else in here. These nests, they're everywhere. We tried to take care of it ourselves, but things have escalated. The exterminators are our last hope. Please, help us before.
This looks like something that might have been created. Yeah, it's on Steam. Wish list now on Steam. Well, I mean, that looks like it was kind of rushed. It's funny that all the ideas related to doing something Mickey Mouse all are like basically Five Nights at Freddy's inspired. Yeah. So Sifax is saying Mouse is a different game. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, with the copyright going into public domain, it's a race. It's a race to be first. I think that's why I told you
first, but not best. I want to look at one last thing here, just because this is something that's older that you may or may not be aware of. But yeah, so you've got the gray Mickey, you've got Mickey's Mousetrap. Looks like the most professional one. But let's take a look at this. It's a movie, and I love the concept behind the movie. It's called Escape from Tomorrow.
Didn't that come out a couple of years ago? Or
hang on a sec.
Yeah. This
is the trailer for the movie Escape from Tomorrow. This was made at Disneyland without Disneyland's permission. This is a feature-length film that is weird. I've seen it like years ago when it first came out. This guy basically just went to Disneyland every day and was making a movie, but with like cameras he had secretly, and he made this film. It's about a kind of freaky Disney fan. Let's take a look at this trailer for those who've never heard of it. It's called Escape from Tomorrow. Let's check it out.
People come here because they want to feel safe. Bad things happen everywhere, especially here. You can't be happy all the time.
Something's wrong with Elliot.
There's something going on here. It's this place.
You're inside my head. You've got quite an imagination, just like old WD himself.
Daddy, let's go home.
Escape from Tomorrowland. Okay, that was 2013. That is crazy. I remember that from when it came out. It was kind of like a big deal on the festival circuit. And I finally got
looks like it was shot at both Disneyland and Disney World.
Right. So, Alan, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love the moxie behind it. Just the sheer will to do it.
The whole idea of like, we're just gonna make them. I love that idea because one of the things I always say to filmmakers, they're like, well, how do I make my movie look expensive? Here's what you do. I don't need these anymore. It's location and casting. You get a really good cast of SAG actors, it's going to look like you spent money. If you've got a really amazing location, like New York City, it's going to look like you spent money. So when you have the location of, well, Disneyland, that looks expensive. So kudos to the filmmakers behind that. I remember thinking it was just okay when I finally saw it because it had been built up to me as like this amazing thing. The concept is actually better than the execution. I'll just say that, which is probably true for a lot of this stuff. Again, if you're rushing to be first, you're probably not focusing on being best.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think the joy of watching it is just the fact that they pulled it off. And I think watching that movie, that's kind of what was going on in my mind is how did they do this? How did they get in there? Is a lot more about the making of the movie than it was about the actual movie.
Right. So like this happens a lot with indie films, just, especially films I've covered that are like out of like Sundance or Slam Dance. It's like the story behind the movie is better than the movie. Right.
Yeah.
Like, so the fact that they pulled this off is, I have to say, I admire it.
Yeah. And that they didn't get sued the hell out of it either.
No. I mean, this movie, you can see it. I mean, just go to Just Watch. You can find it to view. I mean, you can watch Escape from Tomorrow. But final thoughts on all this Mickey stuff now that the rights have come back.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm just excited the fact that it's being done. That the veil has been lifted and that people are rushing to do it. And, now this is the initial flood of people wanting to be first. And then let's see what happens over time. And this will also be the proof case because Batman and Superman are entering public domain soon.
That's further off, but I'll say this.
But it's coming. It's coming.
It is coming. It's coming. Going to come in the 2030s, actually.
Yeah.
So, but it is coming, and there are even things where if you're just slightly off model, you can kind of steal stuff. That happens in comics a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious where this all goes. My suspicion is that Disney's not going to care. They've already got the mouse. They have the design of the mouse. No kid's going to want to get merch necessarily from Mickey's Mousetrap. But I don't think that movie is targeting kids at all, which I think is actually a good thing. That they're not trying to trick children or families into watching Mickey's Mousetrap. It really is a novelty more than anything else. And we'll talk to the filmmakers. I did see Pooh, Blood and Honey last year. I thought it was pretty bad, but I was entertained because that movie went really dark. This one looks like a standard issue. Mickey's Mousetrap looks like standard issue slasher film that is probably entertaining. But let's go to your comments and questions.
I just want to say that the thing about Pooh, Blood and Honey was it came out through Fathom Events. And so there was definitely a market for it. And Fathom Events saw that.
And Glanuccio is reminding us, don't forget that Film Threat was way ahead of its time with the Mickey intro to Critics Court. Critics Court returning later this year. The Rogue Attraction. Hey, good to see you, Rogue Attraction. I was there while they were filming Escape from Tomorrow. Oh, that's great. Couple super chats here. Alan kicks his dog. Let's make that a trend.
Yeah, we already got that one.
That says Matthew Rydell for 5. Yes, I'm a little out of it today, Alan. Matthew Hammond for 999. Hollywood lost its way when their award shows did not represent top box office movies. True, you can track the decline of the ratings specifically to less popular films being selected among the top nominees, where they started to select more indie movies, like a movie with Frances McDormand pooping in a bucket, won Best Picture. A movie, Coda, most people don't remember Coda, about a family where the parents are deaf. These are not necessarily Oscar winners that are going to stand the test of time. I just believe they're just not. Matthew Hammond goes on to say that their death knell was when TV series became the prominent storytelling medium. Streaming escalated this. Well, very true. Andrew Monpetit says, why do all these newly released IPs into the public domain always go so dark? It'd be refreshing to see them stick to the lighthearted spirit of the characters instead of horror all the time. I think, Andrew, that horror is an easy genre It's pretty easy to, you know, it's a simple story, right? It's a cat and mouse game, so to speak, right? I'm not trying to do a pun there, but it's cat and mouse, hide and seek with a knife. That's where all these tend to go. Pooh, Blood, and Honey was this. Mickey's Mousetrap is this. So we'll see.
But you're pointing out an opportunity. I mean, there's an opportunity to tell Winnie the Pooh correctly. There's an opportunity to tell Peter Pan correctly now.
Correctly, yeah. I don't understand why they don't just actually tell it correctly. Yeah, like
but
first of all, it's expensive.
The opportunity is there. You know, the copyright is available. Anyone can tell a Winnie the Pooh story. Anyone can grab the book and make that movie.
Well, I know an organization where you could hire a blind, neurodivergent, gay Asian to write your movie. It's the WGA.
Yeah.
It's for those just joining. You missed the very top of the show. Blue-eyed Scorpio for 199 says, "Hey Chris, do a side high kick." I can't. Literally, what you're seeing of my set, it looks large on camera, and let me just say, it's much smaller in real life. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I got
Alan,
to visit. I got to visit your set.
You visited my set, and it's just like, it's the opposite of a TARDIS.
Yeah.
And please don't take that out of context.
It's about 60% the size of my studio.
Yeah. So Bill S. Preston Esquire says fan pieces are not considered fair use. It has to be commentary to qualify, such as parody.
Yeah. And I believe you can also not earn money off of it. Maybe you can't
earn money. You cannot earn money off of fan films.
Yeah.
You cannot. So there you go. Any other final thoughts? And then Ms. Peacoffy has a comment. She says the game is Infestation, not Mouse. Now, I have no problem hearing this comment in the private chat, but feel free to correct me if I do not mind being corrected. I love when the chat corrects me, and I love when the people I work with correct me. Please correct me. Don't assume that everything I'm doing is 100% accurate. And I appreciate that, Ms. Peacoffy. It is Infestation, not Mouse. So, yeah. But yeah, I just, today's show, I found out at the last minute we're not doing the Nooner. So there you go. And then Blue-Eyed Scorpio just says, "Hey, just a dig because of your high kick in the documentary. I thought that was funny. I thought I would put that in the documentary." By the way, a quick rant. I'm going to do a quick rant right here. I'm going to do a very, very quick rant. Here. Here's what I want to let you guys know. I want everybody to know this. I'm just going to do this real quick because here's what we're doing. Here we go. A freaking IKEA chair. If you are receiving this video, it is because you texted me, messaged me, emailed me, sent something through private chat and said, "Chris, someone put Attack of the Doc on YouTube." I know. I put it there so everyone could see it. It is, if it's not on the channel, Indie Rights. So Attack of the Doc is available on YouTube legally. It's also streaming on Tubi. You can still buy it on VOD, and you can get the documentary, the Blu-ray with 25 plus hours of extras. It's available on attackofthedoc.com. And following the life of the movie, you know, it was only available on VOD when it came out on April 24th last year. Then the Blu-ray came out, and now it's on Tubi and YouTube. Why? I want the maximum number of people to see this movie. But if you go to a YouTube channel called Indie Rights, that was put there with my authorization because I want as many people to see it as possible. Now, I still get money from the ads that run. So I think we're closing in on 100,000 views of the doc. That was always the plan, is the most amount of people that can see it. The comments have been great. Thank you so much. I just want to share this movie with the world. Obviously, the best version is the version that's on Blu-ray. All kinds of extras. Get the Blu-ray. So we've already seen a bump in sales, but lots of people have reached out to me with good intentions. It's been a little out of control. But I want to thank you all for letting me know. But it is Attack of the Doc is out legally. Now, part of the reason for doing this is someone inevitably was probably going to post it, but because Indie Rights posted it legally, the copyright is there. So anyone that tries to post it, we will be able to copyright claim it or shut it down. That's part of the reason for also being on YouTube legally. Alan, any comments?
Yes. So it's from Indie Rights Movies for Free.
Right.
And also, when you watch it on Indie Rights Movie for Free, watch through the entire ads. Don't hit skip. And then if you want to, click through a couple of those ads. And
we could all use a VPN or Birch Gold.
I know.
What am I doing? My light bumped. I had a whole thing where I knocked over a bunch of stuff. I don't know what's going on here. All right. So there you go. I want you to see the movie. You know, some people are saying, hey, is it going to be on streaming? Totally get it. It's on Tubi and YouTube, and both of them are free. Tubi has been great. Like I found so much. Doctor Who is on Tubi, a bunch of DC movies. The Batman with Robert Pattinson is on Tubi. So we're in good company. And Tubi have been running ads on NFL games. So they've kind of upped their game in terms of the, go-to free service to watch movies.
That's the brilliance of branding, because Tubi is the one you think of now.
Yeah. Lord Metroid, member for 2 months, says, Chris is DRM friendly. Lol, love the channel. Well, thank you. Yeah, look, I already it's going to get out anyways. I want the film to just be out. It's like, why would you go and watch Attack of the Doc with a bad copy with Russian casino ads running on it? Just watch it on YouTube. And as Andrew Monpetit points out, this segment is sponsored by ExpressVPN. And Davina Duckworth says, Tubi or not Tubi? Oh, see, I actually thought you were saying something there. You were just trying to get me to sound like.
By the way, do we need a Film Threat coffee? Is that something we need to?
We're not doing Film Threat coffee. Oh my God. We have been hit up by so many sponsors since we got north of 100,000. What can you say? Harry Anders says, best news I have heard all year. Well, there you go. And Andrew Petit says the signed Blu-ray is better.
Yeah, it's sharper in image.
Yes. And Davina Duckworth says Francis McDormand practiced the Tao of Pooh. See, I know how to pronounce the Tao. So there you go. I just want to let you guys know as like a customer service thing that, that you can just see the movie for free. Now, I did let our guys know. Alan, why don't you read some unhighlighted chats while I track down where are our guests?
Yeah. Let's see.
They're supposed to be here at 2:15.
I know. Okay. Let's see. Well, let me go through these super chats. Matthew Hammond for $4.99 and Ms. Peacock, if you could grab some chats, that'd be great. If Disney owns the trademark of the name Mickey Mouse, can people use the name in the title or as a character in the movie?
See, that would be a good question to save for when our guests show up. Why don't you read something else?
Okay. Then this is probably the same thing. Nope, here we go. Nicholas Vargo for $9.99. Hey, Alan, Chris and Alan, saw Wish on Monday because I needed to see how bad it was. Well, it wasn't the worst of the year, but it's still a catastrophic disappointment. Bad songs, villain heard it. I will be open with you. I also saw Wish on Monday because I needed to make sure that I was right and that everything I was going to put in the upcoming D files was correct. And yeah, I was right. Except about the horse thing, but we'll talk about it later. Aaron Taylor, Gore's Gourmet Coffee. Alan Horkin says, I love that posting free increases Blu-ray sales.
Yeah, we saw a significant bump in sales after we were released on Tubi and then YouTube. And then I just got every day, I get a couple messages from people saying, your movie's free on YouTube. So you're getting this video. Like I've sent the video to you because it's there legally.
Yeah. I mean, I will say when I first saw it on YouTube, I was like, oh no. And then I saw And then I was thinking it would just be Indie Rights, but then it was this Indie Rights movie for free, and that sounded like a bogus site.
No, that's their site.
I know it's they should have just called it Indie Rights. Because I knew it was from Indie Rights. JPTRX says, got the Blu-ray and splurged for the autograph. Yes, exactly.
Oh, there you go.
The signed version of the Blu-ray is clearer than the unsigned version.
Yes, it's much better. I had to sign like an extra 50 of those. Seriously.
Yeah.
There were like, those went quickly. And also like, at first I'm like, oh, I'll sign them for the Kickstarter backers. Then I'm like, I can't do this. There are too many. I can't do it. We're going to have to charge a little bit more for that. So if you have one, it's going to be fairly rare. So here we go. Lords of Media asks, what's the origin of a freaking IKEA chair? Well, let me tell you. So we were watching, Alan and I were reviewing the TV show Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi television series, and they were in some space vehicle, like a shuttle with a bunch of people, and they're in this common area, and they literally get like Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi gets up out of the chair, and the chair wobbles, and it looked like they bought the chair at IKEA. So it looked so cheap. I just went on this rant, like, one of the great things about the original Star Wars, the ones that were done by George Lucas, is the attention to detail. The attention to detail to those movies is so incredible that every little thing was thought of. I mean, there are aliens there are droids based on alien species. That's something that probably would happen in a world with all different types of, upright walking aliens. It was just such original design, and every detail. It looked like a lot of the stuff looked like, the original lightsaber is basically a Graflex tube. I know this is not news to a lot of big Star Wars fans, but it's that attention to detail. And everything we've seen from Disney Plus on the Star Wars side, I think has been lazy. The production design, everything looks too clean. And the thing about George Lucas is how he envisioned the Star Wars universe is it was a lived-in universe. Like, it looked like people actually lived there. You don't go into a room
for a long time.
Yeah. You don't go into a room. If you go to any friend's house, I don't care. Like, look, I'm different. I'm a neatnik. Okay. I'm a neatnik and sort of annoying about my organization. But if you go in most people's homes, they look like they live there. There's this here, and the garbage hasn't been taken out, and they haven't done the dishes, or they're going to get to this, or like their desk is a little messy because there's paper. That's normal. And what was great about the Star Wars universe, not only were there things like that, but they looked like they had some level of functional use. It was a functional, lived-in universe. You didn't play the whole thing.
I did play the whole thing.
Oh, is that the whole thing?
Yeah.
Play it again. Play it again, because I want to be prepared for it. Look how cheap that chair looks. It literally looks like an office chair or a cheap IKEA chair. And this was their idea for, so much of the stuff that's in the original Star Wars looks custom, or like it's old, like just the interior set of the Millennium Falcon looked like a garage that you work in. Okay. And I've worked in some garage because I would work on my own cars. Right. Back then you could save money by changing your own oil. Does anyone do that anymore? Okay. I have to email these guys.
Okay. Yeah, let's go back here from the nerd far away. Wait, what? No film thread on Geek Grind? I'll just stick to the labyrinth of blends then.
Well, there you go. But look, I just think that that just tells you, if you're not paying attention to details like production design, set design, you're not doing your job. That's also ultimately it's the director's job, director and producer, at that level, to make sure that attention to detail is there. And if you don't see it, it's because the director's not paying attention. And I do notice that there are directors, just having covered film for so long, there are directors that have certain fetishes in a good way over like certain things. Like some just focus solely on performance. A lot of directors is like all about the cinematography. Some directors, yes, are substance over or style over substance, right? Like I think Zack Snyder and Michael Bay fit that category. Their films are all style and they're sort of substanceless and hollow in the end. I mean, Rebel Moon being the biggest example of that, oddly. So there you go. And Red and Vader for 2 says, was Alan's broken chair from IKEA? Lol. Roll video. Well, we appreciate that. But I want to let people know the movie's out legally, and thank you for all the notices. But I'm good. I'm good. All right, we're gonna pivot to something else here. Okay.
Right. Did they have the right time zone?
I already messaged them. We may have to reschedule this for Friday if there's a misunderstanding. We may have to reschedule this for Friday. Okay. My apologies, folks. It's a live show. Things happen. Here's what we should talk about. And you're gonna do a headline for this.
Okay. Is it the
Star Wars director?
Okay.
Do you have that ready?
The banner. I don't even know her name. Okay.
Oh, no, I know what we need to do. Let's talk about Marvel's Echo. We're going to be seeing it this week.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow, and Friday we'll have a report. We have a video of a fight. It's 16 seconds of video from a fight from Echo. Okay, now I wonder if I can play this where you and I can remain on screen. I think I can do that. Can I do that?
You wanted to do what?
You really, Alan, you're on the, you got to pay attention to the show.
I'm setting up. The
I will rule you one day, Flash Gordon.
You can't, I look at this, look at that phoned in Ming outfit. I still love it. That was so fun. That was Halloween. That was last Halloween. We should just do the same costumes next Halloween. I would love that.
No, I'm going to do Super Skrull with the Drax arm.
Oh, you're going to do that as a costume for real?
I have no idea. No, I tried to get my daughter to do it, but she wouldn't do it.
Okay, well, that's crazy. All right.
So we're doing, okay.
Let's talk about Echo. Coming to Disney Plus in a short few days, short wait, all the episodes dropping at once. And to be clear, this is the show that Marvel actually wanted to not happen. They actually were trying to find a way to cancel it. So there you are. I have a video from a fight scene. We're going to take a quick look at this, but Alan and I, the next time we talk about Echo, we will have seen all the episodes, which I believe are 5 episodes.
I believe we are not getting all 5, but
I believe we are not getting all 5, but here we go. Let's take a look at this fight scene. It's 16 seconds. So here we go.
Did you share the screen? Are you sharing the screen? Hello?
Did you not see that?
I did not see that.
It's just a video.
I've seen it. I've seen it. If you want to.
Okay. Did you just watch that?
No, it didn't show up on my screen, but I'm sure everyone else saw it.
Did everyone see it? Yes or no? Because we're gonna watch it again. Did you see it? Yes. Okay, we saw it. All right.
I didn't see it, but that's okay. I've seen it.
I saw it. I saw it. All right. Well, let's watch it one more time. I just want you to pay particular attention to this. No one is hitting anyone. And this is not like a practice video where they're just like, oh, we're going to rehearse some of our moves. It's like, no. This is from the show. Somebody watched this. Okay. We're going to watch it again. I just want you to pay very close attention. And Alan, you need to watch it. I don't know why you didn't see it.
Well, it's a StreamYard thing, but go ahead.
I saw it. I'm on StreamYard. So there you go. And look, Genius Chofis says, I wish I hadn't seen it. So here you go. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it again. Just look at the points of conflict and just see for yourself if you're actually able to see anything. Okay. We'll try it again. Ready? Here we go.
Yep.
Now, do you know what that last clip is from?
Yeah, it got better at the end.
Yeah. That's from Bowfinger. All right. So that is a scene where Echo fights Daredevil. It's done with this weird light. So of course you can't see the stunt people that are actually doing the fighting. But that last part I thought was actually very good.
Yeah.
You know what that's from, right?
Yeah, Bowfinger. I've seen that scene many times.
Alan, do you drink? You know what? I'm going to get Film Threat coffee just so Alan can drink coffee and be awake for the show.
I am. No, I'm doing many things while.
Hey, man. Am I driving okay?
I think we're parked, man.
Oh, shit.
That explains why Alan is I might be a little off my game here as well. But look, we're going to talk about Echo next week. Let's go to all the chat comments that were highlighted. Am I doing this show alone today? I'm asking a serious question.
No, because you're asking me to do other things. I'm doing those other things, and then you want me to go back and do the other things. What other things are you doing? Are you working on the D-files? What is going on? No, I'm trying to prep for the next article, the next thing we're going to talk about.
Merciless Chris versus Ing the Merciless. That's what it is. Yeah, that video, the Nerd Far Away says that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Shots fired, says Brock Samsonite. The comments aren't highlighted, says Joseph, who's a member. Film Threat Irish Coffee, says CM Chunk. Jay's Revenge. This is Jay's Revenge. Actually, my whole thing with Jay is that he named me Frank, and it just was like, it was just
still bitter about it. That's what I'm
not bitter at all. I think it's funny.
I don't know.
But I just thought, well, what can I do that's funny? And then we just sort of made that video. And Robert Paul Champagne says, it's like watching a married couple. Everyone says, poor Alan. Hey, poor me. I have to sit here and I'm like, I'm thinking like,
I don't have comments to read.
We all have a role to play. Frank the Tank Gore, says Star Wars Marvel purist. Free Alan, says Brings Bane. We Heart Alan, says B-Rad. Did I miss that one? Hey, well, Frank's not Gore's first name, says Andrew Monpetit. Carlos Alfredo Lopez, thank you for being a member. This is what make the streams funny. Face green smiling. It's just, yeah. We just, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Leave Alan alone, says Laura Buckles. Star Wars Marvel Purist says, when I met Frank in Dallas, he was tanked. LMFAO. So there you go. Lord Thoth says fun. All right. Let's go to the comments that were starred by other people that aren't me. And by that, I mean people paying attention.
Yeah.
Should we watch the video one more time?
Go to them now. They're there.
What are you talking about? All right. Well, there you go. That explains a lot. All right, let's get to your chat comments and questions here about Echo. I kind of want to like watch the clip one last time
Yeah.
and then we'll go to your comments. And then on Friday, we'll actually have a full review of at least the first episodes. Short clip. That Bowfinger clip, Glenn Brown did an amazing job. Thank you, Glenn.
Yeah,
I forgot about that Bowfinger. I love Bowfinger.
I just have to say this. When I first saw that clip, it was like, here's the first indigenous, disabled, deaf, person to ever be in a Marvel anything ever. And it's just an embarrassment. I mean, I would be embarrassed to have been that first indigenous, disabled, deaf person to be in a movie. It's embarrassing.
Well, let's go to the comments here that have been starred. Yes, says Davina Duckworth. Yes, the second part was more realistic. Andrew Monpetit says some of the punches, kicks are miles away from making contact. Well, it looks very choreographed. Like it looks like this is the practice.
Yeah.
But they just filmed the practice and just put it in the movie. Like there's like these moves that are like, and then they stop. They're stopping. They're waiting to do the next move.
Exactly. And I'm sure they promised that. Yeah, we watched the original Daredevil and we can replicate that. And there you go.
Hulk Hogan, quote, "They don't know how to work, brother," says Just Joe 47. I mean, that's why you do have to give it up for anyone that critiques wrestling. Like I look, I've seen people in wrestling get really hurt. Okay. I've gone to Lucha Vavoom. Unlike Paulie, who's never been to Lucha Vavoom. Paulie's never been. Red French Moon, they're not hitting each other and have to wait even sometimes. Yeah, I mean, there's even tricks you can do. Like you can speed thing, you can change the speed, you can cut in. The one thing that I think is super lazy is when they shake the camera and the camera goes like this and it's shaking. So so that way you can't even see things clearly. That's my personally, I don't like that.
And who thought it was cool to film it through a chain link fence? And then
Right. That was someone's idea. Yeah. Carlos Alfredo, Bowfinger's scene is more believable. A couple super chats here from Doc Savage for 5. Can we get a reaction to Jackie Chan watching the Echo trailer? Did that happen? I don't think that happened.
No, I think he's asking, or he wants us to get Jackie Chan to react to it.
Well, we can't get Jackie Chan. Will Alan be okay?
It's garbage.
Thank you, Doc Savage. Chris Nicholson for 10. The problem with these high concept indie films is that they seem more interested in the narrative of their creation than their quality. It was secretly made at Disney. Who cares if it sucks? Fair. Very fair. So there you go. Attic Hatch Sound, Bob Kawai, Ing missed the joke like the actors missed each other.
First of all, when you played the first time, the video never showed up on my screen.
So. No, it was a technical thing. Alan couldn't see it. Lord Thoth says, as a true martial artist who is a veteran and now law enforcement officer, this is trash. Awful. Okay, wait a second. Shuxy asks, don't you have Jackie Chan's number?
No, but my uncle does.
Well, there you are. And Mark the Cyborg says, hey, amputee representation outside of Star Wars. Finally.
It's my son-in-law.
You should only be able to write Darth Vader if you're a burn victim and an amputee. Mark, sorry. You're SOL.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hey, thanks, Mark the Cyborg. Good to see you here. I saw you on Tuesday night's main event yesterday. Very fun stuff. Baza the Great says Disney makes stuff for girls. They do dance scenes, not fight scenes. And super chat here from Red and Vader for 5. It's a vicious cycle. Toxic work environment. Frank abuses his work wife. Then Alan turns around and kicks his dog. Well, I mean, we just have fun here, but I do sometimes have to remind people because sometimes I'll catch Alan and I'm like, he's watching the show. He's just watching the show.
No, I'm actually reading chats and preparing and trying to anticipate you, which is an impossible task.
Well, that last part is impossible.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, here's the thing that I'm starting to feel in terms of Disney. I don't think anyone wants to work for them anymore, and the quality of the work and the news announcements that we're getting, it seems to be an indication that Disney is the plague.
Right. Let's continue with your chat comments and questions. I mean, you saw that Stephen Yeun was supposed to be in the Thunderbolts is out, and I love Stephen Yeun as an actor. Beef was one of the best shows this year.
Yeah,
that was last year though, right? Wasn't it last year?
Yeah,
I was confused with TV. That was
that's
last year.
Yeah. In fact, I believe that's nominated at the Critics' Choice this year.
Yeah, it's weird how the cycle gets sometimes.
Yeah.
But Stephen Yeun, amazing. When he was out on Walking Dead and they killed Glenn, one of the best characters in The Walking Dead. When they killed Glenn in such a horrible way that they did, I'm out.
Yeah, I was out at Glenn's first death.
Yeah. No. Actually, that was pretty clever, I thought.
Yeah.
When you thought Glenn was dead,
like,
and he
at that point, it was just that realization that there are no more Asians on Walking Dead. So
why would you watch it if you're Asian?
Because I couldn't see myself in The Walking Dead.
Well, you can join the WGA.
Yay.
Thank you, Red and Vadered. Doc Savage says the word on the street is working for Disney is a career and spirit killer. I have heard this from people, and that's going to come out more. The thing that we've heard over and over is that it is a toxic work environment and an environment of bullying, and the people in middle management are oppressed. This is just from what now this is going to come out in the D files.
Yes.
But it is a toxic work environment where the HR department is effectively a bully and used in nefarious ways to bully certain types of people. Would that be accurate, Alan?
Yeah.
Please correct me if I'm wrong though.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. It's weird, but it's not necessarily coming from the top. It seems to be coming from the rank and file.
Let's see. I'm get to the chat. I try to keep the chat comments kind of grouped by topic. So we're going to stick on Disney and Echo and all that. And I will get to the other comments. Always like hearing from Doc Savage. JTP RX, God, Echo looks horrible. Watching a 120-pound woman with one prosthetic foot take out 3 or 4 6-foot, 230-pound men with no problems is like finding a unicorn / Loch Ness / Bigfoot at the same time. So never.
Yeah, but you forget that she has superpowers. I don't know what they are.
My understanding is that they changed her origin somewhat. So,
yeah. So somehow her superpowers allows her to take down 3 or 4 6-foot, 230-pound men with one prosthetic foot.
Right. Thank you for that. Sean Hu says, I didn't realize that Echo was going to be a comedy. I just think it's going to be, it appears based on what we've seen to be very low effort. Although I will say that trailer that they dropped, the initial trailer, didn't look terrible. But I think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it'll have moments, but I think overall they wouldn't be dropping it all on one day if it was terrible.
Yeah. It will have moments, and we'll put those moments in a trailer.
Right. I mean, I think it's hard if you have a really good trailer editor. I mean, look, I've worked with some amazing editors, been fortunate. Mike Cheslick, who cut the trailer for Attack of the Doc. I mean, that was almost a week's worth of work. I mean, it was just insane, clipping stuff out, coming up with a structure. Literally the thing that's going to sell your movie, the one thing is going to be your trailer. For an indie film, it's even more important because you've got to be, you got to be invested. You got to hook them within the first 10 seconds of your trailer. You got to get people. But I've seen some bad trailers. There's a trailer, we're not going to talk about it today, Um, I thought we might talk about it. I thought the trailer was so bad, not even worth it. The First Omen. I love the Omen series. You know, I'm talking about the Omen from the 1970s. Then there was Damien Omen 2. Then there was Omen 3. I thought that was a fine trilogy of horror films, made scarier by the fact that those passages are in the Bible, right? In the Bible. So when the new trailer, I'm like, oh, cool, we're going to get a new Omen reboot. Awful. We're not going to even bother to do it's a 1 minute and 7 second trailer that it's so typical. It's the whole thing is like they shoot it backwards. So it's like the trailer is backwards.
Yeah.
But it's not clever.
I mean, there's a trend in Hollywood trailers. And it started with the Marvels, then went on with Wish, and now it's with Planet of the Apes. You watch it and you have no idea what the movie's about. They show you the sparkly, flashy images in the movie, but you have no idea what the story is. And and that's why people watch it and they say it's lame, because they don't know what's going to happen in it, and so they're not going to bother. They don't know if it's a good movie or not.
Right. Let's keep going here with your chat comments and questions. Thank you, Sean Hu. I saw this. The fight scene seems like a Jackie Chan scene played in slow motion. I'm all for having a strong female lead, but at least cast an actress that can hold her own and look semi-believable, says CD Stein 69. Heinlein says the fight scene looks like someone is actually blind. Tina Guzman says the stunts are horrible, just like Star Wars. They're literally not hitting each other. And let's see. Some super chats here. I can't believe Alan ate his dog. Says Rudy for 2.
No, when she gets older.
I'm just gonna leave that one there. Pilgrim
I was gonna
Media,
make a puppy reference, but I thought that was in bad taste.
Pilgrim Media for 2 says a large wounded animal is dangerous. Same Disney. So there you go. And Matthew Hammond for $4.99 because it looks like we have been ditched. I sent a couple emails to our interview. It was confirmed. And I guess, who knows? Maybe that's a bad sign. Matthew Hammond for $4.99 says, if Disney owns the trademark of the name Mickey Mouse, can people use the name in the title or as a character in a movie? Alan?
I'm not a lawyer, but I think because the issue is, I believe, between trademark versus copyright. Disney does own the trademark in perpetuity. The question is, what does that refer to in terms of Mickey Mouse itself and the title?
So, it's weird because it's weird how you can do things, right? Like you can't own a name, but you can argue, say, for example, Star Wars, right? You couldn't make another movie called Star Wars. Although I went down this rabbit hole on Amazon Prime Video, and there are a ton of movies with the word Dune in the title. There's like Dune Wars, Spice Dune. There's Dune Diver. I mean, they're awful. Yeah. These are all super low budget, like asylum movies trying to capitalize on Dune. I think I might review a bunch of those.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
It's not the word. Like you can't copyright the word Dune, but you can copyright your graphic treatment of Dune.
Right.
So however Warner Brothers presents the word, that's copyrighted, and you can't use that without the symbols and everything. I had a good point there, and I can't remember it now.
What is going on today, Alan? I think it's coming back.
Okay, no. Here's the point. Here's the point. Because Coco was supposed to be called Day of the Dead,
really?
Yeah. Well, people got up in arms because Disney tried to trademark a cultural holiday in Mexico, and it wasn't that they were trying to copyright the phrase; they were trying to copyright the graphic treatment of that phrase for the title of its movie, and that's the point I wanted to make.
I think Coco might be the last thing they did that was, in terms of animation, that I think was I really liked Coco.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the last thing they did that I think was really good.
Yeah, visually perfect, and then from a story, it was a hard-hitting story.
And don't forget the music.
Yeah.
Don't forget the music. But yeah, there are like shades of gray, which is why you can, after 100 years, make something like Pooh, Blood, and Honey. Or you can do things like, I mean, look, classic books, if you want to take a classic, you can do Frankenstein. They're making, it's coming out, I believe, in February, a movie called Lisa Frankenstein. So.
Yeah, the title alone just says it's going to be great.
Whatever. Look, there's a filmmaker I know who knows the book really well, Frankenstein, and probably one of my favorite versions of Frankenstein that I have a Blu-ray that I got like a review copy of, and it's called Frankenstein: The True Story, and it was a 2-part television movie. So I think it's like 4 hours, but it's more accurate to the book, because what happens is Frankenstein's monster comes back and he's actually intelligent. There's none of this like, friend. He's actually like a poet, and he has he's into beauty. And then what happens is he begins to basically decay. So he's seeing himself slowly decay as a dead body would, and he's regenerated as a beautiful man, played by, I believe, Michael Sarrazin. But that thing had a huge influence on me as a kid, because it's different than every version of Frankenstein that's ever been done. And it's the television version called Frankenstein: The True Story, or Frankenstein: I don't know. Alan, can you look it up?
What's the name of it again?
It was in the 70s. It was a TV thing. It was a 2-part TV event. And it was, just look for it. Look for it.
See. Okay, here we go.
You can find, Alan, I believe that you can find it.
Yeah, Frankenstein: The True Story.
Right. Alan, 10 seconds.
Cut the blue wire, then cut the red wire, but only if the third wire is yellow.
Alan, I know you can do it, Alan. Do it.
Pull the flange.
Hold on, Alan. Hold on.
69.
Alan, 1 second. Perfect.
Michael.
What?
So I think what it is you're so off that you need to throw me off to make yourself look good.
That's
what I always feel like. Hey, look at this obscure TV show that I thought of just now.
It's really good. I have a Blu-ray. Look it up. It was very well done at the time. I mean, I saw it when I was a kid, but I just remember that it was so different than every incarnation of Frankenstein that it was really worthwhile.
Yeah. So now that I've looked it up, what did you want me to
when did it came out? What year?
It came out in 1973.
I knew it, not 73.
Yeah. Based on the novel by Mary Shelley. And it was released, at the end of 73.
But it was like a 2-part. I mean, it was
a made-for-TV movie.
It was a made-for-TV movie, but in 2 parts. It was like a mini series, and it was very well done, and it was very different. And the monster was much more sympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Yeah, let's not forget the fact that Walt Disney, his first few films were based on stories in the public domain, starting with Snow White.
That's why. Okay, let's be clear then. That's why everything is branded Disney's Snow White. Disney's Cinderella. And when they do that, one, they own Disney's whatever.
Right.
But
the trademark of the graphic treatment of the
correct. But not only that, there are they design it in a way that it's iconic with I'm not saying Wish did this. I think Wish did pretty terrible. But if you look at Disney's Snow White, that outfit, is, you can't do something that color-wise looks like that outfit.
Right.
You can make a different Snow White. You just can't do it with that color scheme and the buns and the hair and all that
Well,
stuff.
the issue is you can't make it in such a way that it would cause confusion that it
Correct.
was Disney version versus your version.
Correct.
Which is why people try to do, need to do completely original takes on that story.
Right.
So if you want to do Steamboat Willie, you just have to do it in a way that is not confusing with the original Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie, which is probably, if you go to your local dispensary, is a strain of weed. The Introspect M, who's a member, says they changed her powers. In the comics, Echo can imitate, i.e. echoes, her enemies' attacks. In the show, supposedly, she channels the power of her ancestors, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Naptown Nerd says she can, in the show, access her ancestors' skills, does not increase her strength or speed. MK Solid 82 says, in real life, girls have a hard enough time killing a spider. I hate to say, Ms. P. Coffee's brought that up very often. Not a spider killer. All right, pivoting for a moment. Sons and Shadows is asking something positive. Thoughts on Trading Places?
Yeah, that was the first rated R movie I saw in the theater.
And what did you think of what you saw, Alan?
Jamie Lee Curtis is great.
Yes, I think she's great. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I mean, it's kind of like My Fair Lady. It's like a twist on that as a comedy. I remember really loving it. I've always liked Eddie Murphy. Loved him in Beverly Hills Cop. Loved his comedy specials in the 80s. And Beverly Hills Cop 3. First of all, I can't even believe they're making it, but like, I'll watch it. But yeah,
I do remember Trading Places. My econ teacher showed it to us in class, and it wasn't because of the stock market stuff. It was because of the discussion of that nature versus nurture that the film. And I don't know still how that applies to econ, but we watched a lot of movies in econ.
An urgent message from Neil Horn, who's a member for 499. Alan, please turn around and pet your dog.
I'm kicking.
Whoa! 50 comes in from Pharaoh of Vibes for 50. Speaking of Disney, have you heard the remarks from the Ray director Sharmeen Obad-Chinoy to CNN? It's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy far, far away. Marsha Lucas would like to have a word. I'm gonna save you. We're gonna actually one last comment here. I'm gonna go to yours. We're gonna make it a story. Okay. So Alan's going to make a headline about that.
Isn't it there already?
I don't know. But thank you, Pharaoh. We're coming back to you. So just a moment. Dr. Fauci's prison butt. Wait, Alan, what? Confirm. Is that what it says?
Yes, it is. Why are you asking me these things?
Because I want you to say those words.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Fauci's prison butt. Thumb. Or whatever that is.
No, that's an arm. That's an arm going
okay.
like that. It's an arm going like that.
Okay.
Studios like Disney will be bought by the 4 big tech firms. There'll be small divisions within these companies. Profitability will become irrelevant. They'll become lost leaders to spread the message.
Yep. Not the dream
I'm
anymore.
sorry to say that I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to be the case. I want there to be a robust independent creators movement. But in order to get access, for example, to get on places like iTunes and whatnot, you got to play the game. Yeah,
that's why I think the big studios are going to become irrelevant, and it's going to be the indies to kind of save the day.
I think it's going to take time to get there. I think it's going to be the next 5 years. Jeremiah M for 2 says, happy 2024 film thread. Oh, that's right. This is our first live stream in 2024.
Happy New Year.
Mike Rogers for 5 says, Google 1992 space movie and maybe give it a review. Thanks. Alan, could you Google that?
Yeah, no, I did watch it, by the way.
You watched the movie?
Yeah.
All right, just a minute. This is impromptu. Please.
Well, I'm not prepared to talk about it, if that's because the impression I got was that you were going to watch it too, and then we were going to talk about it.
Hang on, Alan. Alan, you've Googled 1992 space movie. You have seen the film. It's a short film. It's also available on YouTube. Give us your review.
Oh gosh, it's bad. It's really bad. Look,
what's the story? What's the story?
I can't believe you're putting me on the spot because I saw it like a week and a half ago, and so I'm barely remembering it right now. But I believe it. Oh yeah, it was about these gay astronauts who happen to be black, traveling around the world, and they come upon Earth, and they are flummoxed by this thing called a woman, and they try to get to know women better and understand women on Earth, and they do, and unity abounds, and the universe is saved.
Now, is there a story? Why is this called 1992 Space Movie? I mean, it's a weird sort of like glitch. That's not the name of this movie.
It's not. No, it was. But it was a space movie made in 1992.
But was it made in 1992?
Yes, it was.
So it's actually okay. So if I look this up on IMDb, it was actually made in 1992. Or if I Google it, the exact title of the movie will come up. This is a movie with a title that could not only made today. I don't think that Alan can even say the title of this movie.
No, but I think you could. Why don't you tell us the name of the movie?
I'm not going to tell you the name of the movie. I do know what it is. I'm just saying that it looked bad, and I was curious.
Yes, because usually in our teens we're all curious.
So, do you recommend 1992 Space Movie, Alan?
For the curious, yes.
So it's what is it, like a 20-minute short film?
I believe, yeah, like 24 minutes, somewhere around there. It's pretty bad. It's an indie film in all sense of the word.
How is it?
I believe it's shot on VHS or on video, and then
it is shot on video.
Together, yeah.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Alan, thank you for your quick.
But maybe they'll come together and make a 4K version of it.
Let's hope that happens at never o'clock. All right. We're going to pivot here really quickly. Here we go, Alan. The director of the new Star Wars movie has been, I want to say cast, but that's not accurate, actually. It's different than that. There's a movie featuring Rey that is the continuing adventures of Rey. I'm going to bring this up in just a minute here. This is from my Twitter feed. This is kind of unprecedented in the sense that this director, I'm going to have to make this larger so you can see it here. So just give me a moment. We're going to check this out real quick. From End Wokeness on Twitter, the next Star Wars film will be directed by a feminist activist and former journalist. The theme is centered around feminism. What could go wrong? Here is the director. Her last name is Abed Shinoy. So, and she is tasked with making a Star Wars movie starring Rey. My message is there. Starring Rey, which will continue Rey's story about Rey rebuilding the Jedi Academy. So it's set 15 years after the events of Episode 9. No word if any other cast members from Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, will be joining or not. The only person confirmed in terms of the cast is Daisy Ridley as Rey. To be fair, I never had a problem with Daisy Ridley. I think she's a very good actress who was given not a very good story material to deal with. The story material that she was sort of tasked with, the character, the way it was written. And it seemed, if you watched interviews with Daisy Ridley, that she wasn't super into it. She was not super into it. Now we're gonna watch this
And the
from
first
CNN. It's a
so
short
the first
clip.
woman
I'm
and
gonna
the
make it
first
full
person of
screen here.
color
We're gonna check
to
this
direct a
out.
Star
And I
Wars
have
film.
to pause there.
What are you doing?
Pause, would you? Okay. We're going to watch this short clip, an interview with her while you are looking up on IMDb the resume of this filmmaker, because here's what I want to understand. And I have a theory about this, okay? I have a theory about what's actually happening here. I'm going to give you my take on it after we watch this video. It's a short clip, 34 seconds. But look her up on IMDb. I'm going to want you to share screen with her resume. A Star Wars movie is kind of a big deal, okay? The Star Wars sequels, even though they were diminishing returns by the time they got to The Rise of Skywalker, the returns at the box office fell to half. The Force Awakens made nearly $2 billion at the box office. Rise of Skywalker barely crossed the $1 billion mark. I'm going to play this video for you to watch, us to watch together. This is her on CNN, seemingly on New Year's night. I don't know why it was important to get this news out then, but let's watch this. Okay, ready, Alan? Can you see it okay?
Yep.
Here we go.
Also the first woman and the first person of color to direct a Star Wars film, and it's set to be released in 2026. You can say that the force is strong with this one. Here's Sharmina Obaid-Chinoy.
You know, I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special. And we're in 2024 now. And I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy far, far away.
So the first woman and the first person of color.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me give you the first thing that comes to my mind is why today. I mean, it's not like this news is just breaking, because this was announced at Star Wars Celebration. They even announced, I believe she was at D23 as well.
Yes.
You know, what is it? I mean, I tweeted about this, but I felt like that the powers that be just basically said, hey, people are having too much fun in 2024 so far. We need something to ruin it. And so let's run this story.
Well, here's my take on this, is that there have been more Star Wars projects announced and canceled than there have been Star Wars projects made. Under Kathleen Kennedy, there were the Star Wars sequel films, that's 3 movies, Rogue One, and Solo. Solo did poorly. Rogue One is probably the one that most people remember most fondly. But announced, you had Rian Johnson's trilogy, the trilogy from the producers of the original Game of Thrones, not House of the Dragon, but Game of Thrones. Taika Waititi was supposed to do a Star Wars movie. There's a graphic you can find of all the Star Wars movies announced and canceled. But this one was different. It was announced in a way that it was announced at Star Wars Celebration. Okay. It was announced not only at Star Wars Celebration, to bring up a picture of her on screen here. It was announced at Star Wars Celebration, and Daisy Ridley was there. If they don't make this movie, there's going to be a lot of egg on Kathleen Kennedy's face, and I think it's going to be very embarrassing for everyone involved. Looking at this, why are they promoting a movie now that's coming out in 2026? What is the point of this?
Exactly.
No one else who's ever had an announced Star Wars project, you know, did they go and do a press tour? You're seeing articles, you're seeing videos of her resurface, you're seeing her doing interviews. What made her on New Year's Eve, not like she doesn't have something else better to do on New Year's Eve, but to go on CNN? Here is what I am going to speculate what happened. The project's in trouble. It's probably not going to happen under her. So what does she do? She hires a personal publicist. Okay. People do this all the time in Hollywood. You hire a personal publicist, not a publicist from Lucasfilm, not sanctioned or allowed, but a personal publicist to say, I want to start doing interviews for this movie that I'm making. It's set to go before cameras this year. Okay. My feeling is things are not going well behind the scenes. And she took it upon herself, Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy took it upon herself to hire a personal publicist to book her some interviews. And now these have gone viral because some of the things she's saying are kind of disrespectful to the women that have been involved in Star Wars history. Everyone from Kathleen Kennedy, who's been shepherding the franchise, for the last decade, okay, to Marsha Lucas, to Carrie Fisher, who did not only contribute the character of Princess Leia in acting, she also wrote a lot of stuff behind the scenes. She was helping George a bit. So I'll just say that this is kind of disheartening to see this attitude. And now here's what we're going to do. Alan, you're going to share screen. You're going to show us the resume of Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy. We're just going to look at the because the thing is this, do you ever get excited? Let me just like a quick thing here. Do you ever get excited when you find out like, wow, Scorsese is going to make this movie, right? And it's like, oh my God, that would be amazing. Chris Nolan's going to do Oppenheimer, right? Mm-hmm. Greta Gerwig, when I saw that first teaser trailer for Barbie, I thought, first of all, best marketing ever for a movie in 2023. You can't, whatever you think of Barbie, great marketing. If you love Barbie, go see Barbie. If you hate Barbie, go see Barbie. Brilliant. And Greta Gerwig, I happen to think, if you look at her past work, such as Lady Bird, I believe she is a true talent. Mm-hmm. So connecting Greta Gerwig with Barbie, that's a win. That's a studio that is producing a film that knows its audience. Now, I have often said turning Star Wars into a girl brand will turn out to be the costliest mistake in entertainment history. Let's look at Sharmeen's resume.
Yes.
If you would.
She
got
her training for Star Wars, for Marvel, for Disney, by directing two episodes of Ms. Marvel. Do you remember those 2 episodes, Chris?
I only watched like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, maybe you saw it. I have no idea.
Okay.
But the rest of it is very interesting. Fundamental Gender Justice, no exception. That's a TV miniseries. Then there's Satara, Let Girls Dream, Freedom Fighters, which I'm pretty sure if I were to guess the gender of the Freedom Fighters, it might be female.
It's also a short film which got a 5.8 on IMDb.
Yes. 3
Bahadur, Rise of the Warriors, Student Athlete. These are from 2018. Yeah. If you could scroll down, it looks like Bahadur. That's like a sequel. Maybe it's a television thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've never heard of any of these shows. Scroll back.
Yeah,
up
but the thing is, I believe they're for the most part documentaries.
Right. So let's scroll to the very top. What would make you think that this person would be ready to make to go and make a Star Wars film? You are the shepherd of this franchise. And look, there is no shortage of controversy when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy and hiring directors. Famously, Lord and Miller were cast away and fired from the film Solo, the completely uninspired Solo film. And this is what we're about to get. More of your thoughts on this, Alan. I'm just curious. There's one last thing I want to end with here to show you something.
Yeah, you're gonna show us.
Alan, you're supposed to fill. You're not drunk.
No, you go. You say, "Hey, what are your thoughts?" I'm gonna show you.
That's what I just said. What are your thoughts?
No, you want to show? What are my thoughts? Or you want to show us something?
I'm showing you something. I have to find it.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's true. Yeah, I mean, this is the MO for Disney right now, is to get people who have done small things and then put them in charge of major things.
Okay, wait.
Marvel.
I have breaking news here.
Okay.
Let's share screen. This is the cast of the new Star Wars film. Jack Posobiec has just posted this. Cast of the new Star Wars just announced.
Oh.
I've never heard of these actors, but it seems legit. Seems legit.
Well, I think this is brave and it's beautiful.
Okay, I have one last thing I'm going to show you here. But I need to find it. So Alan, take it away.
Yeah. This is fun. So Neon Thunderbird says, Alan, I want to hear your thoughts, but first I'm going to talk for like 5 more minutes. So yeah. I'm trying to remember the original thought, but yeah, what was I saying? Sorry. Now I'm out of sorts here.
All right, one last thing I'm going to share with you. Okay, this graphic. I'm going to end with this, and then we're going to get to your comments and questions. We can take that off the screen, please. Hide the current comment. When you see Disney Star Wars for exactly what it is, this is a meme that's been going around, okay? Let me read it to you. When you see Disney Star Wars for exactly what it is, and there's a picture of all of the main cast from the original Star Wars trilogy, and it's a happy face of an NPC. Happy face says, "My heroes won, the Empire has fallen, Luke has passed the tests and redeemed his father, Han and Leia have a budding romance. The New Republic will bring order and peace to the universe." And then underneath that is a picture of Rey, representing the very end, the last shot. So that was the last shot from the original Star Wars trilogy with everyone together celebrating. This is the last shot of Rey alone with her yellow lightsaber. And it says, "Luke failed as a Jedi and teacher. Han and Leia divorced. Their son became a Sith Lord and died. Han and Leia and Luke all died estranged. The New Republic is weak and corrupt. Palpatine's lineage survived and thrived. Finn didn't even get to be a Jedi." And then if I can take that banner away for a second, you'll see that is, of course, Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute from The Office. Alan, any thoughts on the meme right there?
Yeah, they have no idea where to take the Star Wars universe. And it was clear when they made the prequels, they have no idea where to take it. At least George Lucas had an idea of where he wanted to go, how he wanted to expand that universe. And Disney it's just going in whatever direction they feel they need to go. And clearly that new direction now is to make it female focused.
Let's see. I'm going to go back to the original comment that kicked this conversation off. Pharaoh Vibes for 50. Speaking of Disney, have you heard the remarks from the Rey director, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy on CNN? Yeah, Marsha Lucas would like to have a word. Marsha Lucas, Oscar winner for the editing of Star Wars. That saved that movie. Turning Star Wars into a girl brand will prove to be one of the costliest decisions in entertainment history, says Claudia Gay from Harvard University. Steve Frampa for 5. Thank you for that. Bill S. Preston, Esquire, questioning her qualifications. Why do Chris and Alan hate women? That's an interesting question. Interesting that you would bring that up.
I like to see Asians in movies. People, I mean, I have to constantly be saying that. I hate gay films. No, I hate films with women in it.
You're not straight. I mean, there's the video proof is right there.
Oh my God.
The proof is right there. Thank you, Bill. Lady Muck, these people are doing so much damage to our children, especially the boys. I feel sorry for young boys now. If I was a father to a young boy that I was raising right now, I would probably just be watching films and TV from the past. There's plenty of it on DVD. Plenty of it available. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm glad now that because for decades, boys have been playing with Star Wars toys the wrong way. And I'm glad Disney has come in to teach us the right way to play with those toys.
Right. Final comments here. Neon Thunderbird, Star Wars, the bad guys win and the good guys lose, just like real life. And from Rumble, Glasic, is a sub supporter for 5. Thanks for having Jay on New Year's Eve. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But final thoughts, Alan, and I want to apologize to everyone regarding our interview today. I do not know what happened. I hope it's not something serious, like someone being hurt. But we did have scheduled today the if it's possible for us to reschedule, we will do that. But Alan, sort of final thoughts, as obviously we needed to do maybe a little practice run today.
Yeah. Star Wars, it's not for us anymore. Sorry. The Star Wars you loved and knew, it's not for us anymore.
Well, I think the long term is, I think that they've lost the older fans, and they're not making new fans. So I don't know who this is for.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's for the families out there who wanted to see a movie directed by a woman of color.
Have you ever cared when you go to the movies? You know, if there's a movie you want to see, it's like, oh, it's interesting to see who this director is. If I like the work, I'll look up who that person is, and then I'll look for more things by that person. I don't go see a movie because of someone's identity. I think that is so small-minded.
I mean, you'll see a movie because of who directed it, because that person built up a resume. They earned the right to have you see their movie because of their past work. But now it's like, hey, kids, we're going to go see this movie. Why? Because it was directed by a person of color, a female person of color, the first female person of color in a Star Wars movie. That's the reason you're going to see this movie.
Well, look, that is not, if that's what your marketing is, you have nothing to market. And I think, as proven by when we kicked off our conversation on the live stream today, and you saw what's happening within the WGA, this is why this happens, because it matters and it shouldn't. And when you look at the resume, I'm sorry, I don't care who this person is, male, female, gay, straight, whatever ethnicity. I look at that resume from that person, and they are not getting anywhere near the Star Wars franchise based on that resume.
Yeah. I mean, she's essentially saying, forget all the work I've done before. I'm a female person of color. And the worst part is when this movie fails, and I'll call it now, it's going to fail. It's because she was a female person of color.
MK Solid 82 for 199. The Star Wars toy industry is ruined due to this. Facts. But we're going to leave it there. Friday, we're going to have review of the first few episodes of Echo. We will also be talking about Night Swim and other films that we didn't get to today. Friday should be fully on reviews. I'm not going to promise that the directors of that film will be here. If they're able to make it, fine. But we'll see. Friday's going to be a fun show. And then Alan and I are driving to San Diego on Friday to go see Chrissy Mayer's show. What time is the show?
Probably in the evening.
There you go.
Things I should always have in my mind. Yes.
Bear Beard Whiskers for 2. Star Wars. Why? I have Film Thread to entertain me. Thank you for that. And Bart da Boys Blanc. Great stream, guys. And sends in 10. Well, thank you for that. And Red Invader says Alan took a real beating today. Lol. Well, I need help. It is Alan. Alan is the co-host for a reason. I love Alan's takes. I love listening to Alan talk. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
Like listening to Alan talk.
Your way of asking for help is read my mind, anticipate my thoughts.
Wait, I gotta find a good video.
That's how I need you to help. Most people in the world.
Alan went full J today.
I know, it's like No. Most people in the world say, "Hey, I need help. Can you do this?" And
But I did say it.
And then we do. No. Most of it's like, I'm thinking of this right now. Can you do it?
Well, yeah. It was really Gary that told me, he goes, look, just think of doing live streams like radio. And when I started thinking of it that way, it's like, oh, you got to you're just having a conversation with the audience. You get into some topics and whatnot. And then we have fun doing reviews. And then we also make fun of each other. So yeah. Lod689 says, who's a member, says, Alan does all the heavy lifting in this group.
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on. No, I love talking to Alan about movies. It's like my favorite thing to do. So, yeah. A couple last minute things here that just came in from Rumble. Lord Shax, this was fun. Chris and Alan, thank you for turning lemons into spiked lemonade. Yeah, I mean, what can we say? We're a little off. We're back from vacation. Yeah. I mean, Alan's off. I'm off.
Let's just say Hollywood's in the dumper right now.
Hollywood's in the dumper, and it's gonna be a January that's gonna. Night
Swim is coming out.
I'm looking at the movies coming out in January. I was looking at our schedule. It is bad, folks. Please tune in. We'll make it entertaining no matter what. I promise you. But wow, it's bad.
Yeah.
Chris goes, I want to hear your take, but first let me show you a clip and talk for a while, says Neon Thunderbird. Yeah, you got to keep up. You got to keep up.
Yeah, got to keep up. Keep it up. Rock it hard. Make it work. And make it so.
Oh my God. Please, Dad and Dad.
Most shows would have ended by now, but no,
I know. I don't know why we're
going to beat this dead horse.
All right, look, everybody, my apologies today on the interview that didn't happen. We talked about a lot of interesting topics. We are going to follow up on the interesting WGA story, and look for us on Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern, and do not forget, it's happening. Okay. It's happening. This is happening. The Golden Globes, we're doing a watch party. It's happening on Sunday, January 7th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's the 2024 Golden Globe Watch Party with myself, Alan Ng. Other people are going to be joining us. There'll be a lot of people joining us. Should be a lot of fun. Alan, what are your thoughts?
I believe there's a 80% chance that the opening monologue will contain jokes.
Also, I have a prediction. It will be boring. It's going to be boring. But join us on Sunday for a watch party. We'll have a good time. And there you go. And a final reminder, I think it's important to always point out, thank you to our mods, Lord Thoth, Latino Slant, Ms. P. Coffee, Glenn Brown, our producer. There you go. And there you are. Alan?
Yes, go to filmthreat.com for our reviews. We've got a bunch coming up, plus Sundance and Slam Dance is coming out later in the month. And so that's something we could look forward to.
We've got Sundance and Slam Dance Film Festival coverage. In addition, we're doing the Golden Globes watch party. And in addition to that, the next installment of the D-Files comes out next week. We're going to talk about it on a week from today. Alan?
Let's get out of here.